Hello, year 1 and 2. Okay, so today we are learning to, hello, Leia. We are learning to remember the story so far of The Wind in the Willows. Now, to help us do that, we usually draw a story map or a text map, and we're going to do the most important points that will help us to write our recount later on. So we're going to have 6 important points, and I want to see if you can remember them too. But to help us draw it, I'm going to create 6 boxes on my piece of paper. So to do that, we're going to fold it in half long ways, and that will give us 2 pieces. And then we're going to fold our long piece into 3 equal pieces. Now, that's not always easy. I'm going to try and do it so that they match. That will give me the 3 equal pieces long ways. And then when I open it up, we've got 3 equal pieces on our half and 6 equal pieces here. Now, I will draw the first one with you now, and then we'll have a talk through what we think the other 5 are, and then you can look on the PowerPoint if you need some ideas. The first one, we're going to label all our boxes. So that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. So I know my order, because being in time order is one of the important parts of our recount. Now, the first thing that happens to our mole, because it's a recount, we're retelling the story from Mole's point of view, and we're going to be using I. So we're going to do it as Mole's experiences. Now, the first thing that happens is Mole spring cleaning. So we're going to have a little picture of Mole, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, just like in our text maps, they're nice and simple. And Mole is going to be spring cleaning. Now, in our story, Mole often wears clothing, so I'm just going to give him some clothing. And he's going to be holding a long broom. And he could do some painting, or he could be cleaning the ceiling. Spring cleaning. There he is. And he's got his waistcoat on and some little trousers, and his little feet stick out the bottom. There we go. So there's Mole. Mole spring cleaning. Just to remember, help me remember. Now, the second thing. So Mole spring cleans, and then we know that he leaves, doesn't he? So what do you think he does next? Where does he go? Yes? Yeah, that's right. He goes to the riverbank. So we can have a nice, simple picture of the riverbank. And he sees a river for the first time, doesn't he? So he can draw a river, and he meets one of the most important characters in the story. So I'm going to draw a little hole, and out of the hole we could have someone's face appearing. Whose face could it be? There we go. So there's my second picture. What happens after that is, where do they go? They go somewhere together on a new piece of transport for Mole. He's never been on one before. Can you remember what it was? It was a boat, a little rowing boat. So I'm going to draw a little rowing boat, because that's something else Mole will probably want to talk about. And they've got some oars in the water. There we go. There's our oar hole. And they have a picnic. So I'm going to put on the riverbank here, I'm going to put a box with a picnic hamper. And maybe I could do a cup to show there's some drink as well. They go rowing and they go on a picnic. Brilliant. Now we've got 3 other events that happen up to the point we're in the story. What do we think happens after that? Well, this one I'm going to tell you because I want you to include this. While they're out on their rowing boat, Mole and Ratty discuss a very important place in the story. A place that Mole will go to, but not yet. It's called the Wild Wood. And I'm going to show the wood with lots of dark looking trees. And I might even put, because the Wild Wood is a bit of a scary place, in to my Wild Wood some spooky looking eyes, because that's the Wild Wood. My pen's just started to stop working. Okay, so we're on picture number 5. Picture number 5, we've learned about the Wild Wood, and then Ratty takes Mole to go and visit Toad. Now Toad lives in a grand hall, so I was going to give Toad Hall some big pillars, a big grand door. I think it's got some really ornate top part here, and some big steps. That's mine, but you can draw whatever you like for Toad Hall. And then of course we need to meet Toad, so I'm going to draw a toad. And Toad has got some eyes. He's got a big smiley mouth. And we're going to give him some sort of posh clothing because he's very wealthy, Toad. And he's very happy, so he's got his happy arms. There we go. That's my Toad. Meets Toad in Toad Hall. And the final part, number 6, we're going to have Mole and Toad and Ratty going on their journeys on the caravan. And this is where the crash happens, the caravan crash. So I'm going to draw the crash. I'm going to have the wheel of the caravan showing, just to remind me that Mole is going to recount how the crash happened. And if you remember rightly, there was a bit of a car accident. So I'm going to have Ratty, Toad in the road, and he's sitting there. And I'm going to have a little to remind me what he thinks. He says, poop, poop. And these pictures will then be helpful when we're writing our recount later on in the week. Toad sitting there. And Leia, what do you think of those pictures? Will they help us? Yeah? Fantastic. So I've put those pictures also on the PowerPoint, so if you need any help. But if you want to draw your own and remembering the 6 points, please do. And I'd love to see a picture. Many thanks.